Okay, my friends, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. Today we're going to be going through some crow work, so lots of fun. We are going to be kind of just talking about all of the little nitty gritty things that have to do with crow, right? So we're going to start right in our malasana, our yogi squat. Going to be nice and wide. So this video, I'm not gonna warm us up too much. So I want you to make sure wrists are nice and warmed up, do some wrist warm up, get our shoulders nice and warmed up, like maybe do some down dog, some sun A's. If you need a sun A or sun B video, you can go back and look at them. But some sun A's, some sun B's, stuff like that, getting your wrists nice and warmed up, shoulders, everything in that upper body core nice and warmed up and ready to go. From here, once we're all good with that, all warm and feeling ready, finding our malasana. Rock side to side, feel nice and open. Hips are nice and open. And then from here, hands are gonna start to come down. And all I wanna start with when I'm first working on my crow is getting my hands on the ground, right? So let's say my hips are a little bit higher, that's okay. Can I try to get my hands on the ground and still lean my weight in and out? So it's such a huge part of that crow is that initial weight shift, right? And I'm not like, see how I'm not like doing this big rounding here where I'm kind of like falling into the floor like that. If I start to go forward, if I round too much through my spine, I truly do just like collapse and fall forward. So we want super straight through our spine, really straight here, pressing our elbows to lift us up even more. If this is not comfortable for you, then this is where we start, right? Pressing our elbows into our knees, rocking side to side. And then keeping that knee and elbow connection super strong. So right here, right where my tricep is, see if I can get my knee there. I don't want it low towards my elbow, right? If my knee's towards my elbow, as I start to shift forward, see how low that is on my elbow? It kind of starts to just fall like that. We don't want that. We want to make that shelf with our arms. So almost like if I were to just put my arms like this, see how there's no shelf? It's just straight. If you're gonna put your leg up there, where's it gonna go? Down. It's falling. It's not going anywhere. If you bend your elbows a lot, right? Elbows nice and wide and then kind of like rolling in, right? But keeping them wide. So you're like hugging everything. See how I can kind of make that shelf? Bend my elbows a lot. See how my knee, obviously this is super awkward. You're not doing this. But you just kind of just show you that if I have that bend here, it makes a shelf. So something can stack just right on top. You can even see it just like that. No stack, what's stacking on top of my straight arms? Absolutely nothing. Right here, what's stacking on top of that? Anything, my legs, my knees. So, I'll show you from the front. Elbows are super wide. I have this little like funky position. Hands down, I'm just shifting my weight forward and back with my knees as high as I can. Pressing my elbows into knees, knees into elbows, pressing them super wide. Maybe toes lift, maybe they don't. But I'm just leaning in and out for now. Also, something that I talk about a lot is that, I'm gonna scooch forward just so you can see a little more. Just so you can see our triangle grip that we talk about. So I always talk about triangles, right? Lots of triangles in our crow. Bottom hands are our bottom two corners of our triangle. And then where you're looking is gonna be that top corner of the triangle. So it's actually way farther in front of your hands, farther forward than you think. So hence that like little roll I was talking about a moment ago. Arms down. If I'm looking right in between my hands right here, see how that makes me round my spine, and where do I go? Right down, ouch, right? If I'm squeezing my shoulders on my back, see that little lift there, pressing my elbows out wide, pressing my knees into my elbows, and then kind of coming high onto my heels, looking forward. See how I'm looking forward here, and my elbows are over top of my wrists instead of shoulders over top of my wrists. So that big shift forward, honestly, that is one of the most key factors in crow, is that shift forward, that lift through your heels so your toes are nice and light on the earth, and then really pressing your elbows into your knees, stacking elbows over wrists, looking forward and not down, and squeezing my shoulders on my back. If you're in class with me a lot, you will hear me all the time say, squeeze those shoulders on your back. Feel that nice lift. Anytime we do any half lift or anything, I like to really focus on those shoulders. That helps a lot with any of these inversions, whether it be crow, whether it be when we move on to Kundalini. Getting those shoulders squeezed, that lift of your chest, almost like you're pulling through, because that's an action that we're thinking about in crow. we're thinking about pulling our chest through, right? So I'm not just thinking about pressing through the ground, I'm thinking about pressing and almost like rolling. You see the difference there between that and like rolling forward? So you can even honestly just do that, just like this. And then let's add our legs into it, right? Forward, lean in, and out. See how as I shift, like I said, elbow stack, toes lift, or heels lift rather, and forward. And I'm looking at you guys, but I should be looking at the ground. So ideally I'm looking at that triangle point, right? So like draw your triangle, hands are bottom two corners. Where's that top corner? Way farther forward than I think. That's where I'm looking. And squeeze one heel and lower, and squeeze the other and lower, and maybe both. If we are a little afraid of falling on our face, you're not alone. Falling on your face is scary. And it's something that, honestly, we all kind of do when we first start doing crow. So, you are not alone if you start doing crow and you're like, okay, I'm a little bit scared. I keep, like, my weight keeps kind of like shifting forward and out, and I feel like I'm gonna kind of just collapse or kind of fall forward. You can place a blanket or a pillow in front of your face, or if you have two blocks, that you can do. You can come into your little malasana, squat it down. My blocks are gonna be in front of my face. I'll show you from the side actually, so you can see a little bit better. Blocks are gonna be like right in front of my face. I'll put them there. Hands are gonna be back, and you might kind of wanna like figure out where you're gonna be by just like shifting. And that looks like it'll be perfect for me, right? So my elbows can be stacked and then tapping right there. And maybe that's all you do is lean and tap. And maybe as you lean forward, can you try to hover your feet? Tap your head and come back. But don't let your head like collapse, right? So I don't want this like, oh, right? They're cork blocks, that also doesn't feel great. So have it be light. Can that weight shift back and forth be light? Super small. Yeah. Another way to get used to crow, or like lifting your feet, if you're not used to it. Sometimes I do these in class. They are so very fun also, so why would we not love them? We start at the back of our mat, and there are these little crow hops. So malasana, hands come down forward, and you find these little just hops. And can you go so light? If you want to keep your elbows and knees together, you can, but I just kind of hop. Hands down, hop. It's so little, and then you go right back. Hands down, hop. And that just gets used to putting your weight in your hands, shifting your weight forward and back, grabbing the ground like we talk about. Kind of like there's baseballs, tennis balls, whatever it is, something on the ground that you can really grab and push and then kind of like roll your chest through. So almost like really grabbing those balls on the ground there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much it for crow. Yeah, if you want to start building up from your crow, you absolutely can. One last thing I'll show you. Once you feel nice and good in your crow, just kidding, I'm going to show you two more things. First, I'll show you a hop back. So from here, we're in our crow, right? And we like to hop back to chaturanga from here. So I do this little like pop, hopping right back to here. You can try that. Place a blanket in front of your face just in case you get worried to fall. But something I also like to show people is if you're not quite ready to crow hop back yet, you can do it from malasana. Hands can be down, feet can even stay down. And from here, shift your weight forward, little hop back. And if that's even still too much, shift your weight forward, step one foot back, step the other foot back, and then lower. And if you do that, just make sure you do both sides so you're even. And if you're feeling ready to tune it up, now this is the last thing I'm gonna show you. We're gonna go right from crow to our headstand back to crow. It's one of the most, I don't wanna call it basic, but one of the most common transitions that you'll see after crow when we're building up from crow. So, crow, you're gonna tap your head down right on the ground. So, I'm going in my crow once I feel nice and steady here, right? So I wanna feel so good in my crow. Once I'm good, nice and light, can you tap and lift? And tap and lift. And I want you to feel comfortable with those exercises before you go upside down. I also want you to feel comfortable in a tripod headstand before you go upside down. We'll talk about that in another video. So if you're not quite there yet, don't worry about it. We'll get there when we get there. But if you are there and you want to get into your crow, you can. And let's say, like I said, you've been doing those taps for a little while, head down, head up, feeling nice and good there. So our next step is hands down, head down. Once I feel good here, hips lift, hug my knees together. Breathe and maybe straighten my legs. From here, I can come down the same way I came up. Bend my knees, hug all the way in, go slow. Knees come on towards my elbows, hug my toes together, and from here, that little lift. Looking forward, trying not to let my hips drop and press through my pads of my hands. Sometimes when we lift up there, we think about pressing a little too much through our pads and it sends us back. So really gripping through your fingers there and going slow, not moving your hips, not moving your chest. It's literally just lifting your head up or tapping it down. Other than that, that's our crow. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys learned something from this, can take something from this, and I hope you have fun playing with crow. See you guys later. Thanks. Bye.